Life is precious and we should make the most of it. Like you are about to see, you never know when a photo somebody takes of you will be your last. Here are 20 last photographs of celebrities. 20. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was the founder of Apple and responsible for some of the most pioneering technological advancements of the last 40 years. This photograph of him was taken just days before he succumbed to the pancreatic cancer he had been fighting for years. 19. Paul Walker. Paul Walker was an actor best known for his role in the Fast and Furious franchise. He was a keen car enthusiast and regularly appeared at car shows. He was leaving a charity event when he tragically lost his life. Walker was a passenger in a Porsche Carrera GT that lost control and hit a tree. This image shows him sat in the passenger seat moments before the fatal accident. 18. Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn was one of the stars of the TV show Jackass that also spawned several films. The shows featured people who did insane stunts and generally hurting themselves on purpose. A few hours after this photograph was taken, he was killed when his car hit a tree. His blood alcohol level was found to be twice the state's legal limit. 17. Bob Marley. Bob Marley was a Jamaican reggae singer, songwriter and musician who achieved international acclaim. This last photo shows him reduced to just 77 pounds after a lengthy battle with cancer. He would go on to die on May the 11th, 1981. 16. John Lennon. John Lennon was a musical genius who is probably best known for forming the band The Beatles, but who also had great success as a solo artist, as well as influencing many top recording artists. In this picture, John Lennon is signing a copy of his double fantasy album for a man named Mark David Chapman. Chapman would wait in this spot and shoot Lennon some 6 hours later. 15. Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse was a British recording artist whose career was blighted by drug and alcohol abuse. This photograph was taken by a press photographer a few days before her death, which was ruled misadventure due to alcohol intake. 14. Tupac Shakur. Tupac was a West Coast rapper and hailed by many as one of the best rappers of all time. This picture was taken just 20 minutes before he was shot at and killed by unknown assailants. Nobody has ever stood trial for his murder. 13. Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe was an American actress, model and singer who became known as one of the greatest sex symbols of her time. In this last picture of her, Marilyn poses with pianist Buddy Greco just a few days before her death. Her official cause of death was acute barbiturate poisoning, resulting from a probable suicide. However, over the years, many have said that her death was suspicious and suspect foul play. 12. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury was the lead singer of the band Queen, most famed for their hit Bohemian Rhapsody and the lavish parties they often threw. This is the last known picture of Freddie, taken in spring 1991. He would go on to die on the 24th of November from pneumonia, which was a complication of the AIDS virus. 11. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix is arguably the greatest guitarist that ever lived. This photograph of him was taken by his girlfriend just hours before he choked on his own vomit, having taken too many sleeping pills. He died on September 18th, 1970. 10. Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was an actor that excelled in many roles, but was perhaps most famous for his role as the Joker in the film The Dark Knight. He was found dead in his apartment on 22nd of January 2008. The cause of death was officially cited as accident resulting from the abuse of prescribed medications. 9. Philip Seymour Hoffman. Described as one of the best actors of his generation, Oscar winner Philip Seymour Hoffman was discovered dead in his apartment on February 2nd, 2014, at the age of 46. This picture was taken in an Atlanta bar 3 days before his death. The cause of death was a drugs overdose. 8. James Gandolfini. An actor probably best known for his portrayal of Anthony Soprano on the hit show The Sopranos, James Gandolfini died of a heart attack on June 19, 2013 in Rome, Italy. This photograph was taken at a restaurant the night before his sudden death. 7. Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was the 40th President of the United States and served between 1981 and 1989. This is the last public photograph of Reagan, taken a few days before he died of pneumonia, complicated by Alzheimer's disease. 6. Jim Morrison. Jim Morrison was a singer, songwriter and poet, best known for being the frontman of the band The Doors. He was in France at the time of his death and was found unresponsive in the bathtub. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure, although no autopsy was performed, and many say the real cause was an accidental heroin overdose. He was just 27 at the time of his death. 5. Robin Williams. Robin Williams was a comedian and actor, famous for various roles, including his parts in Night at the Museum and Jumanji. He suffered with depression and had recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease when his body was discovered at his home. He had committed suicide on August 11, 2014. 4. Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was an American singer, actress, producer and model, and remains the most awarded female act of all time. On February the 11th, 2012, she was found submerged in the bathtub of Suite 434 of the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Her death was listed as an accident. 3. Cory Monteith. Cory Monteith was a Canadian actor and musician, best known for his role as Finn Hudson on the Fox television series Glee. He had suffered with substance addiction during his teen years and had twice entered drug rehabilitation programs. He died of a toxic combination of heroin and alcohol in a Vancouver hotel room on July 13, 2013. 2. James Dean. James Dean was an actor whose roles earned him the status of a cultural icon. He appeared in only 3 films before his untimely death. James Dean was also an avid race driver. This picture was taken as he was driving his Porsche 550 Spyder to a race he never reached, as he crashed and died on the way. 1. Elvis Presley. Elvis was a singer and actor who was often referred to simply as the King. He is widely regarded as one of the cultural icons of the 20th century. This photograph was taken as he returned to his home in the early hours of August 16, 1977. Later that same day, he was discovered unresponsive on his bathroom floor and died shortly afterwards. That brings this episode of Curious Tends to a close. Please feel free to leave your comments and subscribe.